Righto, welcome back. Welcome if you are new here. My name's Tim. I am a writer, and today I want to ask you the question and myself the question: does creating make you happy? This is going to be a relatively quick, short, sharp video on my thoughts on this as a way to spark a conversation with you, but also to spark a conversation with myself. Now, I feel my best self when I'm making art, when I'm making things, when I'm putting things into the world, when I am doing the thing that lights me up and makes me feel alive. My life is fundamentally better when I have a large project at hand and something to work towards. This can be true in many facets. For you, it might be an athletic feat. For someone else, it might be a painting. For someone else, it might be a novel. However, for myself, I feel my true self, my best self, my honest self when I'm making art. And so I want to implore you today that if you have an idea, to make it, to start it, to create it, to put it forward out into the world. I had a conversation with a dear friend of mine today, and we had a conversation about putting ourselves out there, to starting that really terrifying idea that if you share your goals with other people, they'll tear it down. But the reality is, if you're doing it anyway, that doesn't feel as significant. And it came to light for me this week when I realized I was writing the novel that I've always wanted to write. An idea that's been bouncing around in my head since the beginning of COVID. The back and forth, the suffering, the quitting and restarting over and over again has brought me to a place where I'm done with that. I'm done with that nonsense. I am doing projects that light me up. If there's something I want to make, I'm going to make it. Whether it be a drawing, whether it be a novel, whether it be this video right here, I'm going to make it and I'm going to put it out there because that's when I feel my best self. And for the last decade, I have wrestled with what other people will think. I've wrestled with my own self-doubt. I've wrestled with, is my idea good enough? And I think truthfully, nobody actually knows until it is received, and it's either received well or it's not. And that's okay. I don't need it to be good enough. I just know that I feel better when I'm making things. I feel more in tune with myself, more in tune with the trees, the ocean, the earth, the people in my life, everything. I feel more in tune with that. And I think that is a guiding star. That is a direction that I want to go in. That is the direction I want to go forth with. I've almost finished my first draft of a manuscript, and I was wondering what I was going to do in the 6 weeks in which I will let it, quote unquote, breathe, rather than having a break and rather than not continuing with this consistent practice of making and putting in the reps and the time and the consistency. I'm going to work on a middle grade novel that I've had an idea on for some time, and mostly because I want to make it. I like the idea, I'm excited by the idea, it's forming in my head, and rather than just sitting and waiting and hoping, I'm just going to chip away at it. I'm going to put some work into it as the time goes before going into my edits, reworking the current novel I'm working on. I'm excited. I'm changing how I do things. If I have an idea and I keep getting nudged and pushed by this idea and it keeps coming back, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it into the world, hence this YouTube channel. If you have an idea, go make it. If you want to write a novel, write the novel. If you want to paint art, paint art. If you want to do a scrapbook in your spare room, do that. If whatever it is, go do it, because the reality is you will feel better putting your energy towards the making of things than you will consuming everything else. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I love talking about creating. I like talking about the creative process and art and how we make what we make and how we put it into the world, because it is the vulnerable, honest, raw version of ourselves, because it matters because it allows us to understand the world that we live in and connect with each other and others. And if I didn't have art and I didn't have a way in which I could consume and share and put forward my best self, I would 100% be a shell of myself. And I know that all of my artist friends feel the exact same way. So create your art because it's important to you. So create your art because it is your voice, it is your expression, it is your way to break through. And so I'll leave you with the question, does creating make you happy? Ponder that one, consider subscribing, and I'll see you back here for the next one.